Hey, welcome to this video. My name is John Watts. I'm a consumer protection lawyer. And what we're going to talk about in this video is you're getting your March 2021 stimulus check, whether it's a check or a direct deposit. Can collectors, debt collectors, take your money? Well, it depends, and we'll talk about that. And then we'll also talk about what if they are threatening to take your money when they have no right to do. Not to spoil it, but the solution is you sue them for doing that. But let's take a step back. Can they even get this third stimulus check? Well, it's going to depend on, does the collector have a judgment against you? If they have a judgment against you, and if your state allows garnishment of bank accounts, and most do, then yes, they could potentially take that money by issuing a garnishment to your bank account. And the money is in your bank account, your bank gets hit with this garnishment, and then they have to turn the money over to the court, who then gives it to the collector. But again, we have to take a step back. To get a judgment against you, they have to beat you at trial, right? I mean, or you default, okay? But either way, they have to win the case. Well, to win the case, at least to do it properly, they have to serve you. Whatever the rules are in your state, they have to properly serve you with the lawsuit. We'll take a step back. To do that, they first have to sue you, okay? So let's kind of think this through. If a debt collector calls me and says, hey, John, you owe this money and you got to pay it, and I say, I'm just not able to right now. They go, hey, we know you're getting that stimulus check, and if you don't pay it, then we're going to garnish your check. Well, then I've got to find out, either by asking the collector or checking my own court system, have they sued me? Have they served me? Have they beat me? In other words, do they have a judgment against me? And then, is garnishment of a bank account allowed in my state? Now, if they haven't sued me and they threaten this, then they have no right to take my check. If they've sued me but they've not served me, they have no right to take my check. If they've sued me, served me, but they have not won, maybe I'm waiting on a trial date. Okay, they have no right to take my check. Even if they have a judgment, if my state doesn't allow for wage or bank garnishment, they have no right to take my check. So, why is this even possible? Because in the last stimulus, that would be the second stimulus check, they were not allowed to do this. Well, it was built into the law that they cannot take your check. Well, why didn't they do that on this third one? Well, not to bore us all with sort of the machinations of the Congress, but they had to pass this not as a regular bill, but I think it's called a reconciliation. Okay, it's just sort of a technique to pass it, and it avoids the filibuster and all that sort of stuff. They just couldn't put it in there. Now, they can pass a standalone law if they have the votes to say, hey, those checks that are going out, those direct deposits going out, those cannot be touched. Those are exempt funds, just like normally Social Security disability funds would be exempt. Certain federal retirement funds would be exempt. And so Congress can do it. We'll just have to see if they do it. But that's why it's possible a debt collector could take your stimulus check or your stimulus direct deposit. Now, what happens if a collector is threatening you over the phone or by letter or by text or by email with taking your money when they do not have a judgment against you? Well, then I would look very, very seriously and strongly at suing that collector. Talk to a lawyer in your state who uses the FDCPA, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and say, hey, here's what happened. And we don't want to exaggerate the conversation, but don't minimize it either. Just right down the middle. If you can record the conversation, if the debt collector says, hey, this is Bob, on a recorded line, is this John Watts? Well, they're recording it, so I can record it. At least that's my position. So if you can record it, record it. But if not, just take really good notes. And again, don't exaggerate it, but don't minimize what they say. And you take that to a lawyer who sues debt collectors under the FDCPA. And if the debt collector can be sued, the lawyer will love to sue. I'll tell you this. We love suing debt collectors. And when they lie, okay, when they say to somebody who's struggling, who gets this stimulus check, the whole point is to be able to catch up on things or to be able to spend some money to the point is to stimulate the economy, okay? If a collector is saying to you, I'm going to take your check, and they have no legal right to do that, then they need to be just absolutely hammered and butchered in court for that. Because there is no excuse for doing that. You're going to take somebody's money or threaten to take their money when you have no legal right to do. That's horrible. That is terrible. Those guys need to be just absolutely hammered in court. And when they go, oh, well, we've been sued 5 times for this. Well, if you did it 100 times, you need to be sued 100 times. They go, well, Judge, we did it 10,000 times. We can't be sued 10. Yes, you need to be sued 10,000. Not in some bogus class action where every class member gets like $3. I'm not talking about that sort of garbage. I'm talking about they need to be sued individually. And what the FDCPA says is you can get up to $1,000 in what are called statutory damages, even if you weren't hurt. But almost by definition, if somebody's threatening to take your stimulus check, you're going to have a lot of emotional distress, a lot of embarrassment, upset, anger, fear. You need to be compensated for that. Got to look at your state, how courts interpret this. But my point is, when they lie, when they try to cheat you out of this money, then you need to go after them and go after them very, very strongly. So again, summary, can they take your check? Basically, if they have a garnishment against you, okay? One other possibility is, let's say that I bank with Chase, okay? I have my checking account with Chase, I have a credit card with Chase. Well, I may have within my documents creating those accounts something that says, hey, if I default on my credit card, they can reach over into my checking account just automatically and pull the money out. Now, if you have that and your check goes in, then that bank may be able to do it. So the solution is, if you're in that situation, get it to another bank, okay? And then all you have to worry about is the garnishment if there's a judgment. And remember, if these debt collectors, if they lie to you, if they threaten you, if they try to intimidate you, and they're breaking the law, go after them. Very, very hard. If you have any trouble finding a lawyer in your state, just reach out to me at alabamaconsumer.com. And in most places, I know somebody that can help you with that. And appreciate you watching this video. And take care of yourself. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.